Welcome to another episode here of Coffee and Video Games, a place where we talk video games while we drink some coffee, right? And today I have the honor and special guest here, our co-host from our Nintendo Topic podcast, Mr. Paul Gill Network. How are you doing, Paul?
Great, Mike. Thank you for having me. Looking forward to some coffee or tea today.
Yeah. And that brings me to my next question. Like, this is the most important question, and this question is for you, and this question is also for our viewers. So make sure you go ahead and comment down below and let me know. Coffee or tea?
Oh, this might be a cop-out because my answer is kind of divided. Taste, tea all the way. Awesome. Coffee, I actually don't like the taste of coffee. Don't care for the smell, don't care for the taste. But for helping you wake up, it goes to coffee. So how I drink my coffee is, it comes out boiling hot, as you know.
Yeah.
I load it up with ice cubes, and I just down it as fast as I can. And that's my coffee experience, so it gets me that jolt. Flavor-wise, though, definitely tea.
Awesome.
Unless if you're dousing the coffee in like cream and sugar, then it's a different story, but yeah. So both, kind of?
I guess you made a lot of people happy, because I'm pretty sure in the comments they might have having a battle. Tea, coffee, tea, because we have people from England and from the UK. They're big on tea, and in the US we're big on coffee and all this stuff. So hey, a little bit of both worlds. I like coffee and I like also tea as well, but I think I lean a little more towards coffee.
So if it's 50-50 today, I guess that's pretty good. We'll find out in your vote.
So, all right. So today's topic, guys, I don't know if you knew, but Paul has a huge. Is it a trajectory? Right? Is that how you say? Is that he has a big giant background in the world of Nintendo, and most recently he had the honor and privilege of visiting one of Nintendo's first events here in the United States, because this event was held before in Japan, Nintendo Live, and he's going to go ahead and talk to us about his experience there a little bit, and of course, one game that he was able to play before the majority of the United States and the entire world, because Nintendo had their presence. Oh, take it away.
All right, so that game, is Super Mario Brothers Wonder, but I'll get to that in just a moment.
Yeah.
The event, like Mike said, took place a couple of weeks ago at this point, September 3rd, 4th, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, I think. And I was out there up in Redmond, Washington, first to visit Nintendo of America's headquarters. So that was part of my trip also. And then, in the Seattle area to go to the convention center, check out Nintendo Live, and it was fantastic. I'm really glad that Nintendo put the event, especially since, we've gone a few years at this point without an E3 being in person. And as someone who has gone to 20 in-person E3s from 2000 through 2019, there's nothing quite like that event. Maybe if you're online, you're still experiencing things like you would anyways, but if you're there, it's just a Nintendo amusement park or a multi-video game company amusement park. And no one does that better than Nintendo with just awesome kiosks, just, real life Wind Waker, King of Red Lion boats that you get to interact with, and Mario Kart carts that you get to play in, kind of, and take pictures with. So it's just a cool social gathering, networking experience, meeting friends, playing games, getting swag. And I guess even if you don't get to go, you still get some of that entertainment online from other people's fun. So I think in-person events are amazing. And, even with some summer game fests happening here and there, this is what, I was really hungry for a couple of years. And Nintendo pulled it off great. Really good crowd control, a good-sized space and not too many people, that it never felt too crowded or overwhelming.
Yeah.
And no new games to play except for Super Mario Bros. Wonder, but really quite a bit of things to see, from the concerts to different props of Link from Tears of the Kingdom to stand with, an old school 1980s living room with an NES in it and all of that.
I saw that, and I actually love that. It's amazing.
Really cool.
And quick question.
This is the way to go.
Quick question was so Nintendo Live, was it completely separate? Because I know there was what other convention was taking place during Nintendo Live?
So PAX West, had its, annual event going on in that Seattle Convention Center, but my understanding now there are a few buildings, including a new building and an older one, and Nintendo completely occupied its own building where you went up the escalators and stuff like that, and then this whole giant warehouse, this convention, was just Nintendo Live.
Nice.
So, if you wanted to go to that event, you did have to specifically have one of these, which Nintendo had an interesting way of going about it, as most of your viewers might know, or maybe not. You had to sign up for them. You have to be a Nintendo Switch Online member, sign up, and then hopefully get granted access.
Yeah, and on top of that, it was a lottery. So I mean, I'm hopefully late. Maybe because it was the first time Nintendo Live coming to the United States that they want to kind of maybe try that with the lottery thing, and hopefully if they do continue following years, they'll just open it up until max capacity, right? Just to have a certain amount of numbers instead of just having a lottery pick here and there. What do you think about that? Is that possible?
I think that's. I mean, you raised a good point and kind of answered it at the same time. I think they did a lottery in this case because they had to get a test of just how many people. One of the things with E3 is it could get upwards of like 60,000 people at a time in those two halls, in West and South Hall in the LA Convention Center. And sometimes it's so many people that, unless if you're media, like I've never had to wait in crazy lines, but sometimes you'll wait 8.5 hours just to play Twilight Princess. Wow, that's a long time. And then to play 20 minutes and that was your day. So Nintendo probably anticipating a lot of people would show up for this to play Super Mario Bros. Wonder and see whatever else is there. But right now, they knew exactly how many people would show up. However many people they gave tickets to, 16,000 or whatever, distributing it so that, each person only has one day, unless if you had extra access or whatever. They played it safe. I could see them opening up to more than just NSO members in the future, but probably for some kind of fire codes and COVID requirements and stuff like that. I don't know if they would ever let it be, all right, you want in, you come, because it might be too many for the building to handle, and then you have a situation of, more people get to go, but it's not as good of an experience. So it's probably this really fine line of, you want families, you want real people, and you want different audiences of parents and kids, and then those people could build those bonds, build those experiences, and take them back to the real streets, to the real schools, to the real jobs. But you also want some influencers, journalists, media personalities that bring it to kind of the greater masses on YouTube and social media. So it'll be interesting to see what they go from here, what they do from here. But I loved it. I think every year, let's go.
Talk to us about Mario Wonder, being among the first people to play it, experience that crazy game. By the way, guys, it's coming out on October 20th. We're still about a couple of weeks away, and then Paul played it. He played it. Go ahead, talk to us about that, Paul.
That was one of the highlights of the show from a gameplay perspective. That's the only thing I played, actually. Because everything else was, Tears of the Kingdom, played it, Pikmin 4, own it, play it. So it was all about Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and I got to play it for an hour. Wow. 4 different 15-minute chunks of time that I had, and I got to give props to Nintendo because it being a new game, even if it was the only new game, there were so many different TV sets all hooked up with 4 people that there was never a wait. And you would think, gosh, people would be in line for this. But like I said, the event was so well managed that I thought, oh, geez, is this going to be one of those zigzag kind of things that you have to go down? They had them there, but any of the 4 times I went, I went in, and within a couple of minutes I was playing. I was playing so frequently that the people in line were like, hey, you're back again. Hey, the guy with the suit. Hey, you're back again. Yeah, and
I mean, Paul. To be honest, it's not hard to forget that suit. You see it one time, you're gonna remember it.
so if the viewers, if you don't know what suit I'm talking about,
Yeah, I want to show it right here. This is the suit. This is the suit.
sure, right there on my screen has popped up, I guess.
Yeah.
Nintendo and Levi's several years ago had a partnership, and they came out with the Super Mario Brothers Levi's denim jean jacket and jean pants suit, and I bought it for the purpose of, I'm going to wear this thing next year at E3 2020.
Man.
That didn't happen. So nowadays I'm making up for it. I'm wearing this thing at like the movie premiere and this thing and like,
Yeah.
so people recognize it. It's kind of cool. But anyhow, the game was fun. The first time I played it were with friends from Game Explain, Andre Seegers, Tom Arnold, and John. So the three of them and myself, yeah, 4 of us played it. Someone else recorded the footage, and I picked Mario. I have to pick Mario as my first character because he's the GOAT in my opinion. Yeah. And the game just played really well. As a longtime fan of the Super Mario Brothers franchise, going back to the old school, NES game, this series is one of my favorites in all of gaming. It's one of my top 3 franchises, period. I mean, you can see I've got some Mario statues, and I love the culture behind the character and the family of characters within the series. So Mario games for a long time felt like big events, and they still are, but the 2D ones kind of stopped feeling like big events, I would say, after New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Not to discredit New Super Mario Bros. 2 or New Super Mario Bros. U, but they didn't feel like big events anymore. The 3D ones never stopped. From 64 through Odyssey or Bowser's Fury, they never stopped. So this felt like that true, I am so excited to play a new 2D Mario game. Elephant Mario was really fun. Yeah. I think the stamps in the game are really fun and creative and are going to be awesome for going back and replaying stages, because as we got new little, mini power-ups, one of them is continuous wall jumping. And I remember going back to a stage later on like, oh shoot, I couldn't do that the first time around, but I'm pretty sure something's up there. Hey, instead of doing the stamp that lets you glide longer with your cap, and everyone could glide longer in a different fashion, let's go back with the repeated wall jump one. And we did it, and sure enough, there was something extra. So now imagine how many, Nintendo they're just these magicians. They are these true wizards that create games. Yeah. And now with more horsepower, now with more creativity that can unlock that, and just developing for so long, imagine how creative they're going to get in this game, where you play through it once, you think you got everything, play with a different stamp and find out for time, for speed challenges, for speed runs. And another time I played it was with OJ, Player Essence, and we had a good time playing it together too. It was really fun, and it was a different experience than what I played earlier. And oh no, you butt stomped on this and you made it go down instead of up. We can't undo that. This time we did get, the buffaloes to go through because you had to unlock something earlier. And I think speedrunners are going to have a blast with it because, I think by my 4th run, it was let's just see how fast we can do it. Yeah. And then you'll have speedrunners trying to 100% it. Then you'll have folks that just have fun and take your time in the stage. I think when I'm playing by myself, I'm going to soak it all in, and I'm going to try to maximize that. When I'm playing with my family, it's going to be a little bit different of experience. Let's all kind of share and cooperate and not rush, but we could go a little farther depending on people's play sets. And then online. So I've got to, once again, it might be, I don't know if it's a popular opinion or not at this point, but I think the way they did online was the best decision, because since you're not talking to people, it's kind of like that Splatoon effect. Splatoon just works without talking to everyone. 90+% of the time that I've been playing Splatoon 1, 2, and 3 online over the years is without a person. What about you? Do you play with others talking or just on your own?
I play. When I play, I normally play. I also Splatoon. I don't play with anybody talking. I think Fall Guys is the same way. You don't talk to anybody. They're all there. You can see them and still have fun.
It works. And with Super Mario Bros. Wonder, honestly, if you did talk, if you wanted to play it so that everybody would interact with another, I think you'd have to talk. But it would slow the experience down, because even though you're talking live in a 2D gameplay scenario where there's less to go out and you're more confined in a space, you kind of want to gravitate towards eventually going towards that goal or going in opposite directions. And if the gameplay is set up that you're interacting and colliding, unless if you're on the couch, it's going to be a negative experience. Like, you bumped into me. And online, it's different than having that person there with you, talking over the phone or, through a voice chat. So this way, you're going to get that cooperative experience by seeing your friends. You and 3 buddies are going to be online at the same time playing, jumping, interacting, dropping a sign, hey, watch out for this, or, make your way back to here to kind of pop and go back into the stage. And it's going to be brilliant. Like,
that's crazy. That's awesome. And then, so
I think it's the smart move.
I agree. I agree 100% when it comes to the online play. I think that was a brilliant move by Nintendo, because you feel like you are actually playing with other people, but at the same time you have your own game, and you can race. There's racing, race to the end, which is pretty cool. Which is one of the nice features. Question: you mentioned all the cool things. Any cons that you found at all of the game? Any cons? And that's question number 1. And then question number 2: if you were to do a versus New Super Mario Brothers versus Mario Wonder, how would you describe the difference? Any cons? And then versus Super Mario Bros. Wonders versus the new Super Mario Brothers franchise. What are the differences and what are the similarities?
No cons in the game itself, but no cons on the game.
Okay.
Compared to New Super Mario Brothers, this definitely is a one-up. Well, I don't have a one-up. I'll take the opportunity to take a sip.
I should have added like a little one-up to the side of the cup.
Yeah, put a sticker or something. This is a one-up in almost every asset, I would say. Like, not that you have to have a big story for a Mario game, but this one opens up, I think, in a more grand way. So you're kind of pulled into a bigger experience. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, Mario games, they felt like big experiences for the 2D games in a while. Just kind of the way they opened and put you in there. Now, granted, it was, weaker technology back in the day, but they still made it a thing. Super Mario Bros. 3, the curtains, it felt like something. Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island, you're entering this new zone. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, with the store coming in and the baby Yoshis and baby Mario and Luigi separated, they felt significant. And here, there was this grand scene that we're experiencing. Like, it could have very much hopped into a 3D Mario game from there. So I felt like it's more of a big feeling kind of feel. So that was nice.
And good job on the non-spoiler description. Good job with that.
I hope so, right? I mean,
you did a good job in explaining the grand scene. It created more anticipation than spoil anything. So good job.
Yeah, most of what I'm talking about, I'm thinking back to the trailer. So in my mind, I know what I played, but I'm also talking like trailer-wise, so nothing's really spoiled.
Yeah.
Like Elephant Mario, people know that Elephant Mario's in the game, right? Animations. This game, wins out on animations. New Super Mario Bros. On the 3DS, on the DS, back in 2006. Yeah. It was cool. It was nice. It was the first time we got Mario in 3D polygons in a 2D platforming game, because the last time was Yoshi's Island, so it was a while.
Yeah.
And we had 3D Mario since then, but not a 2D. But this one just blows it out of the water in terms of animations. It feels snappier, maybe a little bit faster. That could be also due to the new hardware. I like the flowers too. I didn't really talk on that. The Wonder Flowers are fun. They're fun to both interact with, because then it gives the whole stage like a touch fuzzy get dizzy. Yeah, touch fuzzy get dizzy. That awesome stage from Yoshi's Island. So it gives you kind of that kind of feel, but different, more interactive things. And, even beyond that, just the graphical polish, the different animations that you're getting in, it tops wonder. And then the flowers, how they just talk to you. Now I heard that you can take the voices off. Like if you don't want them to always talking, you can. Yeah. I probably will keep them on unless if for some reason I want them off. But they're cool. They're fun. Yeah. Nintendo also does a really good job of the music that I could hear as things happen in the stage. You hear a little bit more. Like, traditionally when you hop on Yoshi, dun, 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 like it's the music and then another layer being added on top. Yeah. So here I'm like, oh, this item affects the music this way, and now I'm hearing both. And I just can't wait to have more and more of that.
To hear the full track, that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome.
It's really cool.
That's awesome. That is just exciting to hear. Mario Wonder is coming out on October 20th, and we're just a couple of weeks away to play the entire thing. So yeah, guys, I don't know how you feel after that, because I'm even more excited than I was before this episode started. Thank you, Paul, for joining us in Talking Mario. Mario Wonder coming out on October 20th. We have some. My coffee is almost gone. I just noticed your mug. It's a. Bring it up.
It's a warp pipe.
It's a warp pipe. It's perfect. Perfect. Anyway, guys, this has been Coffee with Video Games. Where can we find you, Paul?
So on Twitter/X, I am at Paul Gale Network, and on YouTube, I'm at Paul Gale Network as well.
And you can also find Paul at the Name Topic Podcast every single Wednesday. Again, thank you, Paul, for joining us at Coffee and Video Games. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed your own cup of coffee or tea, whether you're at, and we'll see you on the next episode here at Coffee and Video Games. Talking games and drinking coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Peace.